My name is Tyler Martin. I work as an assistant at Cedar Lake Office Supplies. Every morning, I ride the bus to the small brick building on Main Street. The office is always busy with phones ringing and people talking about orders. I try to do my best each day, but I feel worried about being late. I know my boss, Mr. Harris, does not like it when people are not on time. Still, I try to smile and think maybe today will be better. As I walk in, I hope I can handle everything, even if things get hard. As I hang up my jacket, I see Mr. Harris come out of his office. He looks at his watch and then looks at me. I feel a small knot grow in my stomach. Mr. Harris is a tall man with sharp eyes. He does not smile much in the morning. "Tyler, you're late again," he says, and his voice is louder than usual. My face grows warm and I quickly say, "I'm sorry, the bus was slow. It won't happen again." I try to keep my voice steady. He asks, "Did you finish the order for Greenfield High?" They called and said it is not ready. I think fast. I remember trying to finish the order yesterday, but the printer had stopped working. I wanted to fix it, but there were so many phone calls. Now I feel worried. Maybe I forgot one of the steps. I walk to my small desk, which is right beside the copier. I see the unfinished papers for Greenfield High's order. My hands shake a little as I check the list. I remember that I still need to make 4 more copies. Just then, the copier gives a loud beep and flashes a red light. It is out of toner again. My mind is full of thoughts. Will I get in trouble? Why is this happening today? I don't remember where the new toner is kept and I am nervous to ask. I see my coworker, Rosa, pass by with her coffee cup. She has worked here much longer. I try to look calm and ask, "Hi Rosa, do you know where the toner is for the copier?" She gives a small smile. "Check the cabinet under the old fax machine," she says. "If not, ask me again." I nod and walk past a group of clicking keyboards, hoping no one is watching me. I finally find the toner after a few minutes of searching. My shirt is now a little dusty from opening boxes. I read the instructions twice before putting the toner in. I do not want to break the copier. After some fidgeting, I manage to fit the toner. I push the button, and this time the machine starts to work. I let out a deep breath, but I am already behind on time. I rush to finish the order. My fingers press the keys too quickly, making mistakes on the address label. I have to start again. Voices behind me talk about lunch plans or the new chair in the upstairs office. I try to ignore them, but it is hard to focus. Mr. Harris comes by again to remind me to finish the order soon. "Tyler, the school will send someone to pick this up in 10 minutes. Please hurry." My heart beats faster. I say, "Yes, I'll finish right away," but I feel unsure. I just want to do my job right. Each small mistake makes me worry I am not good enough. But I also think I can try to finish, even if it is hard. I watch the copier spitting out the last of the papers. My hands are shaky as I gather the sheets and stack them in a folder for Greenfield High. There are just a few minutes until someone comes to get them. My heart beats in my ears and my mind feels messy, like too many problems happening at once. I double-check the papers, but then I see the top one has a coffee stain. It must have happened when Rosa walked by with her cup. I try to stay calm, but my fingers can barely hold the paper steady. I reprint the first page as fast as I can and hope it matches the others. Just as I finish, the phone rings. It is a customer asking about an order, but they are angry. Their voice is loud and I have to listen carefully. At the same time, another coworker, Brian, stops at my desk. He points at the computer and says he needs help logging in because he forgot his password. Brian talks quickly, expecting me to solve his problem right away. I want to help, but I do not know what to do first. I answer the call and promise to look into the customer's problem. Then I apologize to Brian, telling him I will help him as soon as I can. My hands sweat and my head hurts. I remember what Mr. Harris said, someone from the school will be here any minute. My screen flashes. An email from Mr. Harris about another task I must finish today. The subject line reads urgent. My heart sinks. It feels like everyone needs me at the same time. Brian sighs and asks again about his password. The phone on my desk rings for the second time today. I want to scream, but I stare at my hands instead. Everyone else in the office seems so calm, typing or laughing quietly. I feel stuck. I am worried I am too slow, that I will disappoint everyone. As I finally hand the folder to the person from Greenfield High, they do not smile. I worry something is still not right. Did I forget something? I tell myself not to let my mind go blank. After they leave, Rosa comes over and tells me softly, "It's a hard morning, isn't it?" Her voice is gentle, and for a moment I feel less alone. I nod and she reminds me it's okay to ask for help. Even I make mistakes. I stop for a second to breathe. I realize if I keep trying to do everything alone, I will just keep making mistakes. The pressure feels heavy, but maybe if I speak up and tell others what I need, things could get better. I look around the busy office and make a small promise to myself. Next time, I will not hide my stress or try to solve every problem by myself. I will ask for help and do my best, even if things feel hard. Mr. Harris calls my name from across the office. His voice is loud and everyone turns to look for a second. He asks me to come into his office right away. My heart is beating fast and I feel cold inside. I stand and walk to his door, trying to look calm, but my hands are shaking. He is sitting at his desk with a pile of papers in front of him. His eyes are serious. "Tyler, I need you to help with a very important project," he says. "Green Tech, our biggest client, needs a last-minute order delivered today. There's no room for mistakes." My mouth feels dry. I remember all the trouble I had this morning and doubt hits me like a wave. What if I make a mistake again? What if I disappoint Mr. Harris and everyone in the office? Mr. Harris looks at me as he explains the details. The order is big. It needs careful checking, packing, and sending all before 3 p.m. That is just 2 hours from now. I say, "I'll do my best, sir," but inside I am not sure I am strong enough for it. Rose gives me an encouraging nod from her desk as I go back. I open the project sheet and see the list: office chairs, 10 sets of folders, boxes of pens, and special copy paper. Everything must be marked and boxed in the right way. My mind races. There are so many steps, so many ways to get it wrong. I start the packing, counting each item twice. My palms are sweaty, so I use a tissue from my drawer. I check the list again and again, but my eyes blur from tension. Suddenly, I hear Brian ask if I can help with his email, but I tell him, "Sorry, Brian, I can't help right now. I need to finish this order." My voice shakes, but I know I must focus or I will crash. I think of how I almost gave up earlier today. Now everything is happening at once, and I know this moment is big. I can either ask someone for help or try to do all the work myself. Fear fights with hope inside me. I want to show that I can do my job, but I am scared that asking for help is weak. My hands hover over the phone. The clock's ticking is loud. Rosa looks over, maybe sensing my trouble. She gives me a quiet, warm look, and I remember her words. It is okay to ask for help. I finally pick up the phone and call Rosa's desk. My voice is quiet, but I tell her, "I have the Green Tech project, and I could really use a hand." Saying those words feels brave. She comes over right away. We split the tasks, check the order, and share our ideas for better packing. As we work, the task feels lighter. I keep moving even with my fear. This is my moment to decide. I am not alone in my work, and I do not have to pretend I am perfect. I take a deep breath and put my full energy into the project. There is still worry, but now there is also hope that I can do this with a little help. Rosa and I work quickly together. She helps me double-check the boxes for green tech, making sure each set of pens and folders is counted right. My hands are still shaking a little, but now there is a strength in me I did not feel before. I tape the last box shut while Rosa fills out the shipping label in her neat handwriting. She smiles and says, "We did it, Tyler." I nod, still feeling the rush of nerves. But I hear the delivery truck arrive just in time. The driver comes in and I show him which boxes to take. He thanks us for being quick. As he leaves, Mr. Harris walks over, his face unreadable. He looks at the pile of boxes, then at our tired faces. For a moment, I am afraid Mr. Harris is going to be upset. My heart jumps in my chest. Instead, he just nods. "Good work, both of you," he says. No smile, but his voice has a tiny bit of warmth. Rosa high-fives me quietly as he walks away. I let out a deep breath I did not realize I was holding. My legs feel weak now that the work is done. I sit for a second at my desk, looking at the empty space where the packages stood. Brian comes over and pats my shoulder, saying, "Nice save, Tyler. I'm glad you finally asked for help." I grin, embarrassed but happy. Rosa jokes, "See? Even you can't do everything alone." The whole mood around me feels different. People smile when they pass by, and even the air in the office seems lighter. I notice for the first time that it is good to work together instead of trying to do every job by myself. My stomach is still tight from the stress, but I also feel proud now. I did something hard, but I did not break. When I was brave enough to ask for help, things got better, faster, and easier. As the afternoon gets quieter, I think about this lesson. I always thought I should know all the answers and never show when I was struggling. But now I understand that nobody expects me to be perfect. Even Mr. Harris, who is so serious, just wanted the job done right. By asking Rosa for help and by not giving up, I learned I can trust my team. I feel stronger, not weaker, for saying I needed support. The busy office around me feels like less of a scary place now. Instead, I see smiles, a quick thank you here, a gentle joke there. Rosa brings me a cup of water, keeping her smile. For the first time today, I smile back without forcing it. I take a sip and let myself relax. Maybe tomorrow there will be more hard days, but I know now that I do not have to face them all alone. I look at my desk, now free from messy papers and unfinished work, and realize I am not just an assistant. I am part of the team, and I matter here just as much as anyone else. After the busy rush with the green tech order, the office feels quieter than before. I sit at my desk, the soft hum of computers around me. My heart finally settles and I take a real breath. A light feeling moves through me and I look up to see Rosa putting her own paperwork away. She catches my eye and comes over, sitting on the edge of my desk like old friends do. For a few minutes, we talk about how fast things went today. I thank her for her help and for not making me feel foolish when I asked. She laughs, shaking her head. "No one is perfect, Tyler. Not even Mr. Harris. We all have hard days. It takes courage to say you need someone." Her words stay with me. I think about how many times I've sat in this chair, scared of making mistakes or looking slow. I have always worried that if I asked for help, others would think I was not good at my job. Today proved me wrong. Rosa's support turned a very hard day into a victory. Now, as I finish the leftover tasks, I do not rush. I double-check things, but not out of fear, just to be careful. For once, I feel proud of myself. There is a calm warmth in my chest, mixing with a gentle tiredness. Later in the afternoon, Mr. Harris calls me to his office. The sky outside has grown gray, but there is a soft yellow light in his room. He looks up from some papers. For the first time, he tells me he noticed how I handled the pressure and how I worked as part of the team. His voice is steady, without anger. He says, "You showed good judgment today, Tyler. That's what matters. Nobody wins alone in this place." I nod and thank him, not trusting myself to say more without my voice shaking a little. Walking back to my desk, I spot Brian fixing his computer. He grins at me and says, "You ever need someone to cover phones, I'm your guy." I laugh and it feels honest. I realize how much the team means to me now. For so long, I felt like I was working on an island. But after today, I understand this office works better when we share the load, the mistakes, and even a few quick jokes. Before leaving for the day, Rosa hands me a sticky note with a little smile drawn on it. She says, "Keep this, just in case you forget to smile tomorrow." The simple drawing makes me laugh out loud, surprising myself with how light I sound. Walking out, I remember all my worries from the morning. It seems strange how big they felt just a few hours ago, and how much smaller they are now. As I step outside into the cool evening air, I carry a new feeling. I know there will be more busy days and problems at work, but I am not scared anymore. Today showed me that I can grow from my mistakes and can always ask for support. I am not just an assistant or the one who is late. I am learning, stronger, and part of something bigger, a team who helps each other get through the hardest days. The next morning feels different as I walk to work. My steps are steadier, and I am not thinking so much about what could go wrong. I remember the promise I made to myself after yesterday's rush: ask for help when I need it and do not feel ashamed if things are hard. As I step inside the office, the smell of fresh coffee and paper greets me. The early light passes through the windows, making patterns across the desks. Some of my coworkers are already here, talking about their evenings and laughing softly. I smile to myself, feeling less like an outsider now. When I reach my desk, I see the little smiley face Rosa drew me. I leave it where I can see it. Right away, the phone starts ringing. My stomach tightens, but only a little this time. I remind myself there is always time to breathe before I answer. Mr. Harris walks by and nods. Today his nod feels like a small sign of trust, not just a check on my time. I notice I am not rushing even when the printer throws out an error message. Instead of letting my old panic come back, I walk over to Brian, who is at the coffee machine. "Hey Brian, do you know anything about the printer?" I ask. He grins and comes over right away. Together, we fix the jam with a few laughs, and I see how easy some problems become when shared. Later, as I process an order for another school, I find myself double-checking the details, but there is no voice in my head telling me I will mess it up. I am careful in a calm, focused way, not a nervous one. The office feels full of soft sounds: chatting, typing, even the hum of the copier. I realize I am part of this music, not outside of it. Rosa passes by and teases me to remember lunch, and I join the laugh without worrying if I sound silly. Near midday, a tough order comes in from a new client. The forms are confusing, and I feel the first chill of worry. Before it can grow, I remember yesterday. I turn to Rosa and say, "Will you look over this with me? I want to be sure I understand." She pulls her chair to my desk, and together we sort out the confusing instructions. Mr. Harris comes by and sees us working. Instead of being annoyed, he looks satisfied. He even gives a brief smile, which I do not see very often. The teamwork makes the new job simple, finished quickly and correctly. I notice now that I am less afraid to raise my hand for help or say what I am unsure about. Other people start coming to me too. Brian asks if I can show him how to use the new order system, and I take a few minutes to do so. Helping him makes me feel strong inside. I find that giving help is just as good as getting it. Today, when a problem starts to feel too big, I slow down. I remind myself that it does not mean I am failing, it just means another lesson is coming. Before the end of the day, I look around and feel grateful. A quiet confidence starts to grow, a feeling that, even though some days will still be hard, I am going to be okay. I notice I am walking taller, talking more with my coworkers, and not hiding in my own worries. When I leave the office, I take one last look at the quiet desks and the sunlight on the carpet. Tomorrow will bring its own problems, but I will meet them with help and hope, just like today. A few weeks pass, and the days at Cedar Lake Office Supplies settle into a new, gentler rhythm. The morning routine that once made me tense now feels familiar and almost comforting. Some days, the clouds outside are thick and the buses still arrive late, but I don't let these things ruin my mood anymore. I have learned to plan a little more time, and even if things go wrong before I reach my desk, I believe I can handle them. My desk, once covered in messy papers and half-finished jobs, looks neater now. I take time every morning to organize what I need. Rosa placed a new sticky note by my computer last week. It says, "You've got this." I touch it every day before the phone rings, grateful for such simple encouragement. I see how we all help each other more now. Brian brings me coffee some mornings and asks how my weekend was. I help him with reports or computer troubles, and he listens when I talk about podcasts or new movies. Our office sounds less like a workplace and more like a team doing something together. Mr. Harris still walks the floor in the mornings, and I am still nervous occasionally when he gets serious. But I've noticed something new lately. Sometimes he stops to ask how we're managing or to see if we caught any mistakes early. Yesterday, he gave me a small job to plan for next month's big order. He trusted me to handle it, and for the first time, I wasn't just scared, I was excited. When I planned out the details, I asked Rosa and Brian for their ideas. Working together has become our best tool, and the work is smoother because of it. I have many reminders in my pocket now how a single hard day changed me, how asking for help opened doors, and how every problem is easier when faced together. I still make mistakes sometimes, like sending the wrong paper or forgetting a phone message. But instead of hiding those mistakes, I tell someone so we can fix them right away. Each time, I am less afraid. In fact, I am learning that mistakes are part of getting better. The office is a living, moving thing, and my part in it is growing every week. Now when I see someone new come through the door, looking unsure, I give them a small smile or ask if they want a coffee. I remember what it feels like to be that person, worried and alone, and it feels good to show them they don't have to do everything on their own. At the end of each day, as I put on my jacket and step out onto Main Street, I look up at the Cedar Lake sign and I feel different inside. Not perfect and not the best, but stronger than I was. I have found real comfort in my work, real trust in my team, and a quiet promise to myself that I will keep growing. There's a hope in me now that feels steady and real, a sense that no matter what comes next, I'll be ready for it. Even if I stumble, as long as I keep trying and keep reaching out one day at a time.